Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hello, I'm David Hughes, and this is the Esoteric Teaching Introductory Seminar, continued. In our last video, we talked about the Vedas as the context of the esoteric teaching and of yoga, meditation, tantra, and other spiritual practices. Now in this session, I'd like to enlarge on that point and give a little bit more detail about how the teachings fit together. As I said before, the esoteric teaching and the Vedic literature are content and context. You cannot separate one from the other. The esoteric teaching is coming down through the chain of enlightened masters, master teachers, from one generation to the next. It's a living teaching, it's a mystery, and a mystery school forms around each master teacher in turn. So this is the living transmission of the esoteric teaching. At the same time, we have the literary transmission of the esoteric teaching through the Vedic literatures. One cannot exist without the other. The literary teaching will be misunderstood unless there is a living master teacher to exemplify it and to pass on the state of consciousness given by the esoteric teaching in person. At the same time, the lineage of the esoteric teaching could not exist without the context of the Vedic literature to give it background and also to safeguard it from alterations. So, just as trying to study yoga and tantra outside of the context of the esoteric teaching is sure to lead to false results, similarly, any attempt to study the esoteric teaching outside of the context of the Vedic literatures is going to lead to total confusion. Now, obviously, we cannot reconstruct the Vedic civilization as it was 5,000 years ago when the Vedic literatures were put to paper. But we can understand their intent and purpose, and with the help of the contemporary self-realized master teacher, we can adjust the teachings to the time and circumstance in order to get the same result. The master teacher knows the result and personifies that result. Therefore, we can be sure to get the original result by following the instructions of the master teacher in the context of the Vedic literatures of the esoteric teaching. Unfortunately, so far in the West, only a handful of teachers have given the original, complete esoteric teaching of yoga and tantra. Most have given only disconnected fragments and not made any reference to the original literatures, so we have no way of verifying the fidelity of their teaching. Any spiritual teaching is simply a means to an end. Just like an automobile or an airplane is a means to transport your body from one place to another. Similarly, yoga and tantra are a means of changing our consciousness from conditioned material consciousness to blissful, free, unconditional spiritual consciousness. So the idea of using yoga simply for physical conditioning is very limiting. It's ignorant, really. It ignores the true potential of yoga, which is to mitigate all material sufferings. Similarly, the idea of tantra being